Alabama Crimson Tide.
Off to the inside, intercepted Alabama, touchdown run.
And everything college.
We'll take your questions, whatever it is. If you got some games that you want to give us some information on that you might have been at last night, we'll definitely take those that information as well. But Randy, we'll get rolling here in just a second. But we always start with our game, and this is a Benjamin Russell team, obviously, that we cover week in and week out, and it's a team that's getting better, and it's a team that's got a lot of weapons. I think it's one of the more complete teams that I've seen us have in a while. And they're still learning in some areas, but, I look out on the field and I don't see very many holes. Now, in any high school program, you'd be willing to take another guy here or another guy here, but, we're about as well put together as a high school team as you'll see in Class 6A. And, it starts with your quarterback, who was player of the game last night, was co-player of the game last night. We'll get to all that too. But Kingston Preer, man, when you look down on the field and you see him play as a sophomore, you look at a kid that's already got a state championship under his belt last year as a freshman, and you look at a guy that doesn't ever get rattled in any situation and can already do most everything that you want a quarterback can do as a sophomore, but he's not a normal sophomore. He happens to be the number one player in the 28 class, and you see why when you watch him every single time he goes on the field. So, I can just imagine if this kid stays healthy and continues to develop the way he does, what he's going to be able to accomplish over the next 3 years. And then when you add the pieces and the tools around him that he's got here at Benjamin Russell, man, and you and I looked at each other last night, and, I hate to fast forward, but if you continue to stay on track, this is going to be a team that could be really clicking on all cylinders toward the end of the season, heading into the playoffs.
Well, a couple of things that I wanted to watch last night. First off, you go into a game that you expect to win. Sometimes you get a subpar performance. And not only from the players, you get a subpar performance from the coaching staff. I mean, all of us are humans. It's tough to get up week in and week out. You can talk the talk, but do your emotions show that you got a competitive spirit to go out there and compete the right way each and every week, even if it's against a team that you think if you play well, you're going to win by 3 or 4 touchdowns. And so I'll start there last night. I want to compliment our coaches. I watched pregame. I watched how organized we are in pregame, how organized we are traveling. I've seen the itinerary because my nephew's on the team, and I like seeing things like that and feeling comfortable that everybody's in the right place at the right time doing the right things. And Kirk Johnson, and it's not just Kirk, so because he would say this if he was on with us right now, his assistant coaches, they are very professional about the way they go about their jobs. And it starts at the top, but you don't necessarily always have to get in line with what's at the top either. And, our kids are coached exceptionally well and they're led exceptionally well, and they handle themselves that way because of the leadership that they've got around them. So I'll start there. I was worried last night. You've been doing ball games with me a long time. When you don't expect a really competitive game from the opposition, it's not knocking who you're playing. A lot of times you can lose. You can play poor enough to lose, but you can also play poor enough to take a step back, and then it takes you a few weeks to get back to the level that you were. And I didn't see that. The emotions were on high all night. The assistant coaches, it really wasn't Coach Jay. It was the assistant coaches. Their emotions were on high all night. They coach those kids really hard. When the subs come in, they play hard, and they know what they're doing, which tells you they're getting coached up in JV and other places as well. So, Brett, I'll start there, and then we can knock out some, but I know you probably got a comment to go with that.
Yeah, I think you said about everything that needs to be said when you watch this team from a sitting in the stands perspective and how professional they are. This is a great coaching staff, top to bottom. And when you look at, a program and a good leader in a program, and they delve out duties, they get out of the way and let their people do their job. And that's what I think Coach Johnson and why he's so successful is he gets great people around him. I can start with the two coordinators and Cody Hodgins and Michael Hill. I don't know that there's two that I've been around that do it better than they do. And all I heard was a few years ago about Michael Hill, at BB Comer and all the great things he was doing and, was going to come to Benjamin Russell a few years ago and it didn't work out. And, first thing Coach Johnson does is go out and get Coach Hale to come run this defense. And, it's a fun defense to watch in all three phases, from the defensive line, which I think may be the strongest unit on our team. I know some people would argue with that and talk about the wide receivers, but I really like our defensive line. I think they get after it. I was impressed with the way they played against Opelika a few weeks ago. Then I think we've got some really, really very solid linebackers all the way across the board, and we got some depth at that position. And it's hard to build depth in high school. It doesn't matter which level you're playing at. So got some really good linebackers and some guys that can change in and out there. And then our secondary, man, I'm very impressed. I see top level play out of some of those guys. And when I say top level play, I mean next level. And again, we're not sitting here crowning anybody a champion. I'm just kind of giving an evaluation of where your team is 3 weeks into a season. So I really like Michael Hill and the defensive side of the football and what he's able to produce, and all the guys over there. I hate to name people because you leave people out.
I'll name them. I'll jump in there. I don't have any problem doing it, so let me jump in. I'll start with the two linebackers because they're both.
I'm not talking about the players. I'm talking about the assistant coaches.
Yeah,
I'm talking about the guys that help Michael Hill out. But let me finish real quick. And then on the offensive side, Cody Hodgins, he is a masterful play caller. And look, I looked and watched. We've had some good play callers, but I go back to Ted Darby and truly watched a guy that could dial up plays against any opponent back in the day. And, he was part of some really good Benjamin Russell teams in the early 2000s. Man, I remember watching him and just saying, man, this guy, doesn't matter who they play, going to give you a chance just because of the way he coaches and putting the players in the best situations. That's Cody Hodgins, man. He dialed up some plays last night that I thought, this is a big time offensive coordinator here. And so that's what makes all of this come together, Randy. Like all of these pieces have to all come together, and the amount of time they spend together and watching film and studying and knowing each other's tendencies and relaying that to the players so they can go out and do that on the field. That's what makes you a good football team, and that's what makes you a team that's tough to get knocked out of the playoffs. When I look at teams like Thompson and a Moody team now that's led by Jake Gaines, and I look at some of these teams throughout the state, that it's not just about the head guy; it's about who's around them, and they can't do it without them. They'll all tell you that.
Well, I'll start with the defense and talk about a few of our players. And I guess the best place to start is our player of the game last night, Vontae Traylor. And it could have been a number of kids, but we gave it to Vontae, and I felt like for a good reason. He made a highlight reel play at the first part of the ball game.
And if I cut you off, Randy, I'm sorry. We got 1 minute, so I'll give you that, and then we'll get the break. We'll keep going, okay? So
he had a batted ball up in the air by someone in the secondary, and a defensive tackle that weighs 305 intercepted the ball over our sideline, diving down to the ground. And he was physical up front all night. I don't know how many tackles he ends up with, but he was in on a lot. And I said number 56's name a lot last night. So congratulations to him. It was the first time I think that he's won player of the game for us since he's been at Benjamin Russell. So really nice to see that. But Charzell easily could have been in the mix there too. He was all over the field. Our two middle linebackers, they came into the ball game both averaging about 12 tackles per game, and B.J. Hicks and Charles Chappelle, and they could get it week in and week out with just trying to show love to a lot of players.
Yeah, let's go to break here. First break of the program here for TV. We come back. We have a lot more to come here on the Saturday Sports Countdown.
Sportz Auto Sales, Highway 280 in Kellyton, Alabama, is home-owned and home-operated. If you're looking for tires, they have it. If you're looking for a vehicle, they have them. Great selection. Always out looking for more just for you, the customer. And if you're looking for service, whether you buy the vehicle from them or whether you buy the vehicle somewhere else, they do service work and got a great crew there. Keep this in mind. Why don't you go by Sportz Auto Sales on Highway 280 in Kellyton today.
What's the verdict?
Can't fix your heat pump. Need a new one.
Uh-oh. What are you thinking?
I'm thinking Daikin.
Call on Kevin Kill in Sunshine Heating and Air at 256-825-4849, Central Alabama's premier Daikin dealer.
So what's he thinking?
Oh, he's thinking Daikin.
Daikin, one of the top selling in the world.
Now I'm thinking Daikin.
Daikin. Comfort for life.
Here at Russell Do-It Center and Building Supply, we value what truly makes a home a home. And that's why we're proud to offer America's #1 brand of siding and exterior products. James Hardie creates possibilities with an array of colors and textures. We offer the full line of James Hardie products, from Hardie plank to artisan siding and everything in between, giving you, our customer, options to have the best. Russell Do-It Center and Building Supply, local since 1984.
Castelluccio Fine Italian Dining in downtown Alexander City is rapidly becoming the region standard for Italian cuisine, as well as hand-cut filet mignon, fresh Gulf seafood, and the area's best Italian import wine selection. We offer true old-world charm with unmatched hospitality. Like Castelluccio Fine Dining on Facebook to keep up with daily lunch and dinner specials. Also new, we offer catering for your family and small business, so call and order. Castelluccio, downtown Alexander City, where the only thing that rivals the flavor is the dining experience.
Ready for an unforgettable escape? Jump into adventure at Lake Martin, Alabama. From thrilling water sports to peaceful fishing spots, it's love at first bite every time you cast your line. Want more excitement? Catch an event with our vibrant festivals, concerts, and fishing tournaments all year long. And when the sun sets, dive downtown to discover local shops, delicious dining, and warm southern hospitality. Explore Lake Martin, where every moment is an adventure waiting to happen.
I'm Karen Chanel, your State Farm agent in Alexander City, Alabama, and the greater Lake Martin area. I want to talk to you a little bit today about your discounts. How many of you are entitled to discounts that you may or may not be receiving? One of the easiest discounts on your homeowner's insurance is that of having a fire extinguisher. Coupled with a deadbolt lock and a smoke alarm, that gives you an automatic discount on your homeowner's policy.
I'll tell you what he's listed as is a.
I think he's listed smaller than that, but
he's listed at 5'8". He's listed at 5'8", 220.
Well,
all right, we got 4 seconds. Here we go.
If Zai's 5'8", I'm 6'6".
Well, welcome back to the Saturday Sports Countdown presented by JR's Sports Bar and Grill and Sunshine Heating and Air here on the Saturday Sports Countdown. Appreciate all of you out there joining us. We're going through recapping the game last night. Justin, appreciate you out there. Glad to hear that Bunkers was rocking last night. I love it. That's great. We are good friends over at Bunkers in Auburn. Big time. Randy Justin went down there and grabbed some footage for us, a new commercial that's going to be coming for Bunkers. They had live music from Jimmy Yates' grandson last night down there. So exciting stuff, and can't wait to see the footage of that, Justin. Glad you were able to make that for us and help us there. We really appreciate it. Justin also enjoying the last few hours before Bama's back after they beat ULM's brains in, I guess. So we'll get to college, obviously, a little bit later, but you continue to bring your comments in. We appreciate that so very much. Getting back to going back over the game for Benjamin Russell last night.
Let me finish up on the defensive side.
Yep,
I had gotten through complimenting our linebacker play, but last night I really wanted to also talk about the secondary. Bryce had a couple of outstanding open field tackles. I think Bryce has got a chance to be an SEC offer guy at some point. He's 6 foot, maybe 6'1", 180 pounds, runs really well. He's got very long arms, got all of the stuff that you're looking for. And I like the way he goes about his business. I mean, he always seems to be cued in, communicating well back in the secondary. But a standout last night was Eli Long. Eli ends up with probably 7 or 8 tackles, 2 of those behind the line of scrimmage from his safety position. And more important than that, to me, as we move on into the season, was just a very easy interception that he had down the field. And I don't mean that that's an easy play, but Eli's got ball skills. And if you throw the ball up in his area, he's going to intercept it. He's going to have a knack for it. It's his first one now of his career. He did have 2 in the spring, if you remember, in the spring.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
But this is the first true opportunity I felt like he has had where they threw the ball into his area, and it was just as much his ball as it was the offense's ball. And it was just as much his ball. And you can see it. I said it on the broadcast before he called it. If you throw it in that area the rest of the year, you are a 50-50 chance that he's going to pick it off. And that is so nice to have, Brett. Let me tell you, if we can get turnovers in their passing game.
Well, yeah. And he was playing, he was running with their best player, Jalen Moore. And Jalen Moore on the previous drive had made 2 or 3 really good catches, showcased how fast he was. And, but like you said, the confidence in his ball skills to not really worry about the receiver, but to play the football. And that's what he did.
Well, if you're in that position, I mean, unless you're in man coverage, you should never let anybody over the top of you. And he played it perfect. I mean, he was 3 or 4 yards behind the receiver when the ball was let go. He had his eyes back to quarterback. And when the ball was in the air, he had a better beat on the ball than the receiver that they were throwing to on the post from the slot. And that's being coached well, but it's also being a very good player. And he is becoming a very good player back there in the secondary to go along with some good pieces that were already out there. So that was a true positive last night. Love to see that. And just love the energy overall. We can finish out with the offense. Of course, Kingston passed for 220 yards and 4 touchdowns, had another 35 rushing. Jai easily could have been player of the game again at running back. He went over 100 yards rushing last night. Sedarian had a touchdown catch. We had 3 others, of course, Zai being one that had a touchdown reception last night. So a good overall look from the offensive side of the ball. And, one of the key pieces to the team the rest of the year will be Elijah Johnson. He's the best football player overall that we've got. We've got some really talented kids, including Sedarian, that's the #1 recruit in the state. And I love Sedarian. I love the way he blocks. He had some highlight reel blocks last night, which was great. But I don't care where you put Elijah. He could be your best running back. He was a great quarterback last year. He could play anywhere in the secondary. He plays physical back there. He makes great open field tackles. Heck, we put him out at the slot. We've sent him at H-back where he tried to run a wheel out of the backfield. I mean, when 7's in the ball game, you got to point to him. And when you got a player that's tough, difficult enough to go with all that talent, that you say, I don't know why he's in there, but they're going to do something with him when he's in there.
Right.
And that makes defending everyone else just that much more difficult. And so I can't brag on a player that we've had around any more than I do Elijah. I told our kids, our 12U kids that we're coaching, Wes and I said this on the broadcast last night, that, you know, when you're that age, you want to teach a kid that's talented how to play football overall, not a single position, not for them and their parents to get all disappointed and disgusted when they lose that position to somebody later on in their career. I mean, Elijah Johnson is a perfect example of what you need to be able to do. And that's, I don't care where you put me. I'm probably going to stand out above everybody else, no matter where you put me. And that's what he's done this year. It's impressive.
Great attitude. And again, that's what you want. The true team player tells you the analysis that we've given so far, and not mentioning Sedarian Morgan, tells you about kind of how I started this whole conversation. What a complete team this is. You got the best player in the state on your team, and you're 22 minutes in, and you're describing a win last night, and you haven't talked about him yet. It tells you that you got a really good football team, and it's not because he didn't play well, because he did. I mean, he had a great catch in the end zone over 3 guys, and you know, Sedarian's learning, I think, and his attitude's great. He never pouts.
It's wonderful.
You look over at the sideline, because I'm going somewhere with this, that he's learning that he's going to get taken away a lot. You know, Kalira put 3 men on him last night. Let's be honest. And, you know, when that happens, there's going to be things that are wide open. And we had DJ take advantage of that. We had Pierre take advantage of that. We had Eric take advantage of that. BJ wasn't in the game last night. BJ Bedgood, because nursing a little bit of an ankle injury, but it was more precautionary than anything. But you got a deep receiving core, and so a team's like, well, we're not going to let Sedarian Morgan beat you. Well, if you do that, then there's going to be a lot of other weapons that have a chance to beat you. And so, but my point is, you've got a guy that is learning how to say, okay, I'm not going to be able to go out here and catch 10 passes and have 210 yards and 3 touchdowns every night, because, you know, teams are going to take me away, but there'll be times in the game I have opportunities to make plays, and I'm going to make some plays. So that's kind of where I wanted to go with that. But we're going to go ahead and take a break here on the show. We come back, I'm going to talk about our offensive line. I thought some guys that really stood out, Dylan Highland and Burns last night really stood out on the offensive front. So we'll come back and talk about them and some more, and then wrap our coverage up of the Benjamin Russell game, and then get the scores throughout the state, because there were some really interesting ones, as there always are, each and every week. So we'll come back and we'll talk more about that. All right, up again.
Satterfield Outdoor Living is Lake Martin's trusted friend for your outdoor land and leisure needs. We're the region's authorized Skag mower dealer for residential and commercial lawns, and offer all the small engine accessories you need, with top lines of Steel, Echo, Shindawa, Husqvarna, and Metabo products that can tame any landscape. Satterfield is also your grill headquarters with Big Green Egg Grill, and our pros service everything in-house and back up all sales. Get the Satterfield Outdoor difference on Highway 280 right across from Tallapoosa Ford.
Banner Building Summer Sale is happening right now. No money down, no payments for 90 days, plus 12 months with 0 interest now through August 31st on all portable wood and aluminum sheds, carports, garages, and barns built on site or delivered during the summer sales event happening right now at Banner Buildings, 4011 Warm Springs Road in Columbus, or online at bannerbuildingsga.com. Better buildings, better prices, Banner Buildings of Columbus.
Hillary Towers may very well be the Lake Martin area's best kept secret. An affordable senior citizens community located on Highway 22 East in Alexander City. Spacious 1-bedroom units are currently available. Great location, peaceful setting, comfortable living where pets are allowed and utilities are included. Call today for more information on the newly renovated Hillary Towers, 256-329-0552. 256-329-0552. Hillary Towers, 22 East, Alexander City.
SignSource is your local vendor for commercial and residential sign manufacturing and installation. We offer all kinds of lighted and non-lighted signage, from retail signs, LED message centers, event banners, vehicle wraps, the whole spectrum. We also offer service and repair on existing signs, as well as retrofitting to LED or installation of outsourced signage. We have the knowledge necessary to fulfill all of your signage needs in the short or long term. Visit signsourcenow.com to get started.
At Central Alabama Community College, we provide a quality education that will set you up for success. Whether you're pursuing a degree or advancing your career with technical training, CAC offers premier programs at 4 campuses in Alexander City, Childersburg, Prattville, and Talladega. From industrial, electronics to machining, our students are prepared for the workforce or further education. At CAC, you'll enjoy vibrant campus life, exciting athletics, and personalized support, all at an affordable price. Your future starts here at CAC. Apply today.
Visit our new locations in Gadsden and Oxford today.
You know, when you're around him and he's just got a positive energy and he's always smiling, and he has high expectations for his players, obviously, and they respect him, and it's just how they handle themselves at media day and all that stuff. All that comes together to kind of tell you who you are. All right, welcome back, everyone, to the Sports Blitz Saturday Sports Countdown presented by JR Sports Bar and Grill. We're halfway through hour number 1 already, so get your comments in, and we'd love to hear from you. Games that you were at last night, we would love to hear some information if you'd like to share it. We'll go down through there and talk about games from around the state here in just a little bit. But closing out for Benjamin Russell here, Randy, the Wildcats will go on the road to Chilton County next week. And again, I said it on the broadcast, not to look past anybody, but you know, if you go out and you take care of business the way you should, you set yourself up for, I mean, let's just be honest, a game that will give the team that wins the inside track for the region unless you stumble a couple of times. And when you look at Benjamin Russell and you look at Spain Park right now, it would be hard to see them stumbling 2 more times if they got a win in that game. So it really puts you in the driver's seat to win a region championship in a couple of weeks. So again, take it one game at a time. We're not coaches, though. We can look ahead. I can get scolded by Coach Johnson next week when I go talk to him, and he says, "Why are y'all talking about a game 2 weeks from now?" And I'm gonna look at him and say, "Because I can, and you can't, and you need to be watching film on the team that you're coaching right now." But that's where we are with it. I mean, you know, that's what we kind of do here is we look and see kind of how things set up and how the schedule sets up. So, you know, barring something crazy happening in a couple of weeks, should be a high profile game throughout the state of Alabama.
We're glad we get them at home.
Yes.
You know, we let it get away from us pretty early last year. Barber's no longer with the Spain Park team, and he was far and away the most explosive player they had on the offensive side of the ball last year, and that's with the Clemson commit at quarterback. It's a talented team, but you know, you take him away, I'm not sure that it's as explosive as we've seen, and you know, and you look down at their score totals, and that would say that. So it's going to be a great game. They're so well coached. Great kids at Spain Park. They play well in all sports, Brett. It's kind of got an expectation now of that program that now that they're in 6A, they're going to compete for championships year in and year out. So, yeah, I am looking forward to that one. But Chilton County's become a place that I don't mind going to. It's a nice little field. We actually are inside at an away stadium. I think it's the only one now that we go into the press box on.
That's about it. I think that's about it. I mean, it's just kind of bizarre. We don't get most people that come to Alex City, they get a spot. We've got a nice press box, and it's 2 levels, and it's got a lot of space. But, when you have added people, when you bring a TV crew in, state game of the week last week.
So many coaches up there now too.
Yeah, coaches. You got a lot of people, in the way that you don't get a chance. But that's the way it is for us every week. I mean, people look at me as kind of the unofficial, hey, where am I supposed to be up here in the press box? And most of the time I'm like, okay, you guys are down there in the far bay and you got that room and all that. And, when you don't, you get those, well, where are we going to be? I'm like, well, right over there where I am every single week in the away stands. You can go find your place at midfield. And so, we're used to that now. We expect to go on the road and be in our stands. And you know what? It's crazy. I kind of look forward to it every week. It kind of gives me a great feel, and I know it does for you as well. And I kind of feel removed now when I'm in a press box in a little cubicle with you guys. I love you guys, but I don't want to be that close to y'all anymore. And so, gives us a chance to kind of spread out, gives our TV crew a chance to kind of spread out, and they're not all, stacked in there on top of each other. So, but Chilton County, it's an older stadium, but it's kind of a neat stadium how you come out of the tunnel. And
I agree. I like it.
And so, we'll be over there next Friday. So looking forward to that and excited. Adam said, I'm glad to see Elijah have such a good year so far. Yeah, he's unstoppable. He said, I think part of the team's identity has been the unselfishness. We talked about that last night. Those 2 guys, Adam, we brought up, is the perfect example. It says watching CD be the best cheerleader, regardless of how few touches. And that's what we said. I don't know if you heard that earlier in the show, Adam. I said, look, Sid Arian's learning that more times than not, he goes out there, he's going to have 2 or 3 guys taking him away. And so it's opening up opportunities for other players to make plays. And he's not pouting about it. He said it coming out of spring, Randy, and I said it last night on the broadcast. He said, look, it's been 25 years since we won a state championship in Alex City. He said, that's what this team wants to do. That's our mentality. We want to go out and do whatever it takes, whatever our role is that particular night. We want to bring a blue map back to Alex City. And when you got a bunch of guys with the talent that they have, with that mentality, man, you're going to have a chance to go a long way. So, Adam, I'm 100% in agreement with everything you said, and we've talked about it. And that's what's maybe the most impressive part of this team over the fact that you got a bunch of really talented players.
Yep, and hopefully you saw how much you and I think about the way that Eli's playing, and I really think he's just going to get better. He's only a junior, only his 3rd start, so I truly expect him to be an exceptional player back there over the next couple of years, the way that he's moving. And we got a lot of players that I can say that about. So that's a great thing. Brett, before we go off on this one, I wanted you to start. I wanted to jump in here. Jason Caldwell called us on the way home last night. I'll start with describing what happened at Fayetteville and Wadley. The Auburn crew was over there to check out Jarquez Wilkes playing for Wadley against Fayetteville. Quickly, Fayetteville went up 21-0 in the first quarter. It wasn't necessarily based off of them stopping Wadley ever on offense. It was a good offensive possession.
Right.
And it picked up a couple of fumbles, one being on a kickoff, and Fayetteville cashing it in on those and went up 21-0. I think it was still 21-0 at the end of the first quarter, and a state record was broken in the second quarter. Wadley scored 56 points in a single quarter of football to go up 56-21 at half. They had a 6-minute running clock in the second half to close that thing out. I think Jason said it took about 20 minutes and they were out of there in the second half. But 56-21 win for Wadley last night, and a state record broken with 56 points scored in the second quarter.
Yeah, I've never seen or heard. We didn't see it. Heard that he was laughing, and Jason was laughing the whole time. And we had a pretty dominating win, and he's like, "Well, I promise you ain't seen what we just saw." And I'm like, I want to know what this is. When somebody calls and says that, you kind of brace yourself. But yeah, we got about 15 seconds. We'll go to break here for TV. But when you jump out on somebody 21-0, and you look up and you're down 56-21, and then you have to run a clock, do you think at any point in time when you are up 21-0 that there's going to be a running clock in the second half, and you're going to be the reason why it's a running clock because you're getting your brains beat out? That you talking about a range of emotions. Like, you're probably going, yeah, it's going to be a running clock because we're going to be beating somebody up. No. There's like, we're going to spot you 21, and now we're about to beat your brains out. That is, Wadley's amazing, defending champs. Let's get to break. We'll come back. We'll start running down scores from throughout the state. Stay tuned. A lot more to come here on the Saturday Sports Countdown.
You've dreamed about the perfect house, a place to call your own, and a place to not only stretch out, but to grow. Auto Owners protects your house because to you, it's home. That's simple human sense. Happy to help, man. I was just over there talking to myself anyway.
There's only one option for top-of-the-line aftermarket upgrades on your vehicle, and that's Frontline Outfitters. We offer quality parts, lift kits, custom wheels and tires, bed covers, step bars, and toolboxes that are installed by trained and skilled professionals, to custom powder coating with hundreds of colors and finishes, to the highest quality film for window tinting using state-of-the-art film cutting technology. Call Frontline Outfitters at 256-409-8100. Don't be in the back of the line. Put your vehicle at the front with Frontline Outfitters.
I'm Joseph Dean with Lake Martin Funeral Home and Cremation in Dadeville. We're located at 16797 Highway 280, which is on the corner of 280 and 49 North. With an on-site crematory in Opelika and a cemetery in Tallapoosa County, we are a full-service funeral home. To get in touch with us, feel free to come by or call us, 256-750-0381. And for any other questions, you can visit the website at lakemartinfuneralhome.com.
There's only one clear choice in the Lake Martin area for plumbing, heating, and air. That's All Clear Plumbing and Air. Our professionally trained technicians offer full service repair and installation on all major brands, from drips to water heaters, thermostats to entire air conditioning and heating systems, and everything in between. Our fast, reliable, and guaranteed top-notch customer service will keep you informed and up to speed through the entire process. Call us today or look for us on Facebook and Instagram at All Clear Plumbing and Air, 256-496-2056. License number 19172.
Looking to transform your outdoor space? Look no further than Bama Sheds. As a family-owned and operated business, we understand your needs. That's why we offer no credit check, rent-to-own options. Enjoy free delivery and setup within 35 miles of our 4 convenient locations. Whether you need a shed, pole barn, garage, or carport, we've got you covered. Visit our website at bamasheds.com or call 256-268-8484. Bama Sheds, where quality meets affordability and your outdoor dreams become reality.
Scores here in just a minute.
Where are you starting? 7?
We're going to start 7. We always start at 7. Another guy that does not sleep in this state's Ron Ingram. Like, he's sending in an updated scoreboard at 1:45 a.m. means he's still at the office. And I'm like, well, he's been up there since 1:45 a.m. the day before. So if I add up, he's running on 24 hours. So he's still. And then our producer Kane sends me a text at 1:20, which I'm long passed out at that point. Said, hey, I'm still at the office. You want me to send Will this footage? I'm like, well, you go right ahead because I don't know anything about it, and y'all figure it out. And then so we got a lot of guys that pull a lot of hours this time of year, man. And all right, so we're back here on the Sports Blitz Saturday Sports Countdown, presented by JR Sports Bar and Grill and Sunshine Heating and Air. A couple segments left here in the first hour. We are going to go down the scores here throughout the state of Alabama. We'll start in 7A, and I'll go through here, and I'll stop periodically, Randy, get your take on some of these. On Thursday night, it was Auburn-Opelika. Let's start there. Great football game. It was a sloppy game, but it was a rival game where, Auburn was up 10-0 at half. They spent the majority of the first half inside Opelika's 30-yard line, and were only able to manage 10 points. And you and I were talking on the phone, and you said, this is going to come back to haunt Auburn. And I agreed. I said, they should be up 27-0 right now at minimum. And they were only up 10-0. And Opelika's defense really kept Opelika in that game. But you said, Coach Moore's going to go in there and figure out a way to get them back in this game. They were without Colby Key, their quarterback, so they had to get to halftime, change up some things, and they did. Came back and tied the game up, Randy, and had all the momentum in the game. And Auburn was able to score, and then Opelika was driving down and fumbled the football going in to tie the game, and they were just gashing Auburn on the ground. But the turnovers, I think 5 total for Opelika. You're not going to beat anybody turning the football over 5 times. And so that was kind of the way that played out. I believe that was the 6th consecutive win for Auburn in this series, and they've been close the last 3 years. I mean, Opelika the last 2 years have had a lead in the game in the fourth quarter that they've given up, and Auburn's been able to overtake them. And here's another close one right there that I know that they're looking at film going, man, wish we could figure out a way to get some of that back. We could have won that football game.
Well, a great high school football game to watch. And our prayers go out to Keith Etheridge, who's one of our favorite coaches here in the state, with his mother battling in the hospital. So
he was up there that day, all day. I mean,
he's just a great person, and Auburn's lucky to have him. But I was impressed overall with the way that both of these teams played physically. I mean, Auburn had been exposed the week before, giving up 42 points to Vestavia and losing a ball game 42-14. So physically, are you going to stand up to what you already know as a program and a culture in Opelika? Great athletic and physical football led by Brian Moore, and they did. Only giving up 10 points. The turnovers were part of the story, but still a good game on the defensive side. Kason Myers, a special player at Auburn. He put together a winning drive to go down there and put that touchdown, and then have the touchdown pass to go up 17-10. So great game, 100th meeting, 2 rivals. They don't like each other. They never have. And let's see if Opelika can turn that rivalry around in the years to come.
Yeah, and Mark, just to know, man, it's crazy. We just talked about it. I don't know if you just tuned in or not, but we did talk about that because Jason Caldwell called us last night and told us that very thing. And that set a record, by the way, if you want to know. 56 points in a quarter is the most by 1 point. There were 2 other teams that had done it with 55, and now Wadley sits at the top with most points in a quarter at 56. Wild. All right, Phoenix City over Smith Station, 56-20. Look, I know it's a loss, but, Smith Station seems to be kind of turning some things around. You look at the scores of their games, and, Randy, in the past, that would be 63-7 or something like that. I mean, and they're making strides, but Phoenix City, again, still a powerhouse over there in East Alabama.
Well, I won't add much so you can get through this 7A before we go to break, but Phoenix City seems to be the class of that region this year.
Right.
A few of those other teams seem to be struggling more than they need to on the offensive side to keep up with them, Brett. So
they're going to be
difficult to beat.
This one surprised me. Dothan 69 to 28 over Enterprise. I mean, that is a brutal region. You better come to play every week. You see teams get upset in that region. I mean, there's 6 really good teams in that region. Only 4 can make the playoffs. So it's a tough out for a couple of teams. Foley over Robertsdale 27-7. Hewitt-Trussville turns around after Vestavia kind of boat races Auburn and beats them by 2 touchdowns. Hewitt-Trussville knocks off Vestavia 28-14.
2 great programs. You know, when I saw that was a matchup and it was one that we spotlighted this week on the HSA side, I don't care what the score Vestavia had against Auburn. That region in Birmingham, week in and week out this year, we'll see if Thompson's way better than the rest, but it feels like a lot of those other teams are right there with each other, Brett.
Right. Adam, man, Eli deserves all the cred. And then we're going to get to Helena Spain Park here in just a minute. Talk about both of those teams. Helena may be down a little bit. I mean, when you look at their scores, I think they struggled a little bit against Chilton County last night, ended up getting the win, but we're going to get to that here in just a minute. Here's another one, man. You talked about earlier that Hillcrest 34-24 over Hoover. Hoover's anytime you look down and see Hoover losing that's a tough one because they're just used to winning and beating everybody, but maybe a little bit of a shocker there.
Oh, I was shocked. Hoover, I'm thinking's back in the mix in 7A. I need to go and look and see how Hillcrest has played the first couple of weeks of the season, but I thought Hoover had the team together this year to compete with Thompson. We'll see. They've beaten Thompson, once in the last 7 or 8 meetings?
Yeah, it ain't been much. So that game's coming up, by the way. All right, we're up against another break here on the show. One more score down in Mobile. Mary Montgomery's the class of 7A down there. They beat Daphne 41-31. They just continue to roll off of what they did last year. All right, up against another break. Stay tuned. More to come here on the Saturday Sports Countdown right after this.
Here they come! More big transport trucks full of new GMC trucks and SUVs to Glenn Smith and Opelika. Choose from a huge selection of the best-selling full-size GMC Sierras, discounted up to $12,750 off. New GMC Terrains with a fresh design, a spacious interior, and safety features, discounted up to $4,000 off MSRP. Plus, enjoy no payments until November at Glenn Smith GMC in Opelika. Get ready to drive and get ready to smile.
Main Street Family Urgent Care. Main Street Family Care offers a wide array of services that allows them to treat many conditions, and they also offer primary care. In addition to these services, they also offer DOT physical exams, lab testing, sports physicals, and vaccines. They accept most major insurance plans, including Medicaid. Main Street Family Care opens 7 days a week. Main Street Family Urgent Care. Heal better, feel better fast.
Heritage South Credit Union, your community credit union, is looking for the next hometown hero. Hometown heroes can be first responders, public service workers, community leaders, pastors, community volunteers, or anyone who is making a difference in your hometown. Submit your nominations now online at myhscu.com. And if your nominee is selected, they will get a $100 Visa cash card and a certificate of appreciation from Heritage South Credit Union, your community credit union, federally insured by the NCUA.
Illinois Towers may very well be the Lake Martin area's best kept secret. An affordable senior citizens community located on Highway 22 East in Alexander City. Spacious one-bedroom units are currently available. Great location, peaceful setting, comfortable living where pets are allowed and utilities are included. Call today for more information on the newly renovated Hillary Towers, 256-329-0552. 256-329-0552. Hillary Towers, 22 East, Alexander City.
Red Flag Pest Control is Central Alabama's best in pest control with hometown service in Lake Martin and now the greater Montgomery area. When you see pests, throw down the red flag. Termites, bed bugs, carpenter bees, mosquitoes, or general pests. Red Flag gets the job done at the right price for your home or business. At Lake Martin, call 888-943-0353 or in Montgomery, 334-265-1831. Red Flag, the best in pest control in Central Alabama.
If you listen carefully, you'll hear the roads of Alabama calling. And Sarah Honda has your answer. Serving you for over 40 years with one of the largest Honda and pre-owned inventories in the state and the Sarah Promise. Our best deal when you buy or trade, a 72-hour exchange policy, a no-hassle trade-in promise. Written offers are good for 7 days. And our best service promise. Our factory-certified technicians help keep your vehicle running smoothly. That's why Alabama can be yours to discover in a new vehicle from Sarah Honda in Sylacauga.
Welcome back, everyone, to the Sports Blitz Saturday Sports Countdown presented by JR Sports Bar and Grill and Sunshine Heating and Air. One segment left here in the first hour. Excuse me. Going down the scores and finishing up in Class 7A, Prattville beat Oak Mountain 27-7 last night, and then Thompson looked like they had a scrimmage against Tuscaloosa County, 69-0. And again, it's Thompson and Phoenix City in this state in 7A. I mean, everybody else, there's some really good teams. Obviously, Mary Montgomery and Mobile. I can roll down some of these, and some of these teams in both of their regions are capable of winning any given night. But it's really the Thompson Phoenix City show right now between Mark Freeman and Patrick Nix, and until somebody shows us otherwise, it'll continue to be that way. So, moving down into 6A, very good football game in North Alabama last night. Athens over Coleman, 41-38. We talked about Ben Russell for 30 minutes in the first hour, 42-13 over Calera. Carver Montgomery over Jag, 34-6. Clay Chalkville over Pell City, 52-9. Helena over Chilton County, 23-6. Again, that was a little bit eye-opening, maybe, at the lack of offense for Helena. Of course, we don't know what goes on in these games. We just get a chance to see the score unless somebody tells us. But while you were away, Randy, I was kind of going through our region and giving an update on where everybody is. And again, you look at Spain Park, who was off last night, and it just sets up in a couple of weeks that whoever wins that game between Ben Russell and Wadley in Spain Park is going to have the inside track on winning that region. So Homewood 49, Mortimer Jordan 7. I said it earlier, Homewood got a good football team, right?
Yeah, they do. Great program, great culture there. When they get things going in a positive direction, they've always had great fan support. It's one you and I've known for 25 plus years. Watching Coach Newton and what he built there, right. Along with all the coaches at Ben Russell during that stretch that he was the head coach, and a lot of respect for them. And we'll talk a lot more about them, not only this year but the years to come, because you're going to find your way to programs that are having success, and I think Homewood will keep being successful.
Yeah, Tubb said they were using coaches' kids to fill the role last night. One was a linebacker, and the other was 5'6", 140 pounds, and they still blasted Vestavia. He said if they had a decent QB, they'd be better than Thompson. That is crazy over at Hewitt. Trust me. Well,
here's a name to throw at you from Hewitt. Chris Davis's son, CJ, is the running back. He's either a freshman or a sophomore. He's one of the top recruits in that class in the state.
Right.
He's already been a player of the week for us on the HSA side. Already has the build and the look to be a special player. So I would suspect he had a big game last night.
Right. Moving on down the line in 6A, Mountain Brook over Hueytown, 30-24. They lost in there They lost a game last week. I don't know how narrow. I think they may have gotten beat pretty good.
Well, they got beat by 2 scores by Parker.
Right. They win in overtime over Hueytown. Muscle Shoals, always a good program. They get to win. Oxford back on the winning side of things after they got beat pretty bad by Moody last week. I was a little shocked by that score last week. Pelham over Chelsea, 19-9. That was the one I was telling everybody about here earlier in our region. That was a little bit of a shock to me. What about you?
Well, Chelsea was 2-0. So, I got family over there at Chelsea, so I know a little bit more about that team. But Oak Mountain's a 7A team that's pretty good this year. They're getting coached up and they're better, and Pelham had them on the ropes. I mean, Oak Mountain had to throw a Hail Mary at the end to score a touchdown to win that football game. So I knew Pelham had, and you and I have watched Pelham for a while. Athletically, they can have players like at receiver and running back.
Right.
We went through that stretch where they had 2 great running backs that can be difficult. So not overly surprised. Pelham's had a pretty good football program for the last 6 or 8 years.
Yeah, they have. I just thought maybe, that was kind of an odd score. Pike Road, no problem over Rehoboth. That's a good program down there. We caught up with them a couple weeks ago when we did our on the road show. Saraland over Gulf Shores, 43-14. What about Russell County over Wetumpka, 31-18? That was a pretty interesting score there. Stanhope seems to have turned some things around. They beat Percy Julian 40-0 last night. So a little bit better for them moving forward. And then Theodore knocked off McGill-Toolen. McGill-Toolen has completely fallen off down there in the Mobile area. Theodore knocks him off 27-0. All right, into 5A, Briarwood with a 1-point win over Ramsey. 14-13. Central Clay rebounds with a 29-21 win over Valley.
That's a good win. They were shell-shocked, had to be after the Ben Russell game. And, the question of how well are you coached and how good of a football culture do you have is how you show up the next week when you get drummed the week before. And Central Clay beating a good Valley team. You and I talked about it before the game last night. This is a Valley team that was 2-0. Had defeated Glenwood and Smith Station in the first 2 weeks of the season.
Right.
I think both of those teams are solid football programs. So good win for Central Clay.
Yeah, very, very good to rebound off last week's game. Charles Henderson, an opponent for Benjamin Russell in a few weeks, knocks off Greenville 21-13. Elmore County knocks off Carroll 36-20. So Kyle's had kind of a little roller coaster going on this year so far in the first few weeks, but they get back to winning ways with a win there. Eufaula knocks off Montgomery Catholic 35-24. And again, we all know that Montgomery Catholic's not the same program this year. Every coach is gone. A lot of players moved out and transferred, and so I think that's 2 in a row they lost. I think they won the first game of the season, but I think they've dropped now 2 in a row there at Montgomery Catholic. Some more scores as we wrap up here in 5A before we head into hour number 2. Moody over Jacksonville. We talked about that earlier, 42-21. I'm not sure there's a better program in 5A right now than Moody. Coach Gaines is doing a really good job with that program.
He is, and he's a lot like some of the other programs that we brag so much on. You're going to find your way to solid programs being led the right way and kids getting developed to the level that you hope that they do if you've got a talented kid. And Moody's just going to keep putting them in the SEC. You look down at the next 2 or 3 years worth of recruits. In each class, there's 2 or 3 out of the top 20 that are Moody High School kids, Brett. So This is not stopping anytime soon.
Yeah, no doubt about it. No doubt. All right, we're going to go ahead and take another break, top of the hour break. We come back, hour number 2 of the Saturday Sports Countdown coming up right after this.
Hi, this is Brian Bice with Bice Motors. With our all-star lineup of Dodge trucks, Jeep, SUVs, and Chrysler cars, we offer the area team dedicated to making your next vehicle purchase a positive experience. Our sales team offers competitive pricing, and we back up all sales with a service department second to none. Bice Motors also offers the area's best selection of pre-owned vehicles. Visit Bice Motors at 2133 Cherokee Road in Alexander City.
Guaranteed lowest price. Buy it at Bice Motors.
If you haven't been to Big B Barbecue in Alex City, then you're missing the best barbecue around. Big B has everything from the best pulled or chopped pork, chicken, and beef to cheeseburgers and grilled chicken salads. Bring your friends and family out for a great dinner and sit outside on our beautiful patio, or sit inside and enjoy your meal by the fireplace. So come in and join us and enjoy the best barbecue in the area only at Big B Barbecue, located on Highway 22 West in Alex City.
At Central Alabama Community College, we provide a quality education that will set you up for success. Whether you're pursuing a degree or advancing your career with technical training, CAC offers premier programs at 4 campuses in Alexander City, Childersburg, Prattville, and Talladega. From industrial, electronics to machining, our students are prepared for the workforce or further education. At CAC, you'll enjoy vibrant campus life, exciting athletics, and personalized support, all at an affordable price. Your future starts here at CAC. Apply today.
Gory's Furniture Express, your expressway to savings. Come on, get on board. Gory's Furniture saves you more. We try harder in every way, so drive a little and save today. Gory's Furniture Express, your expressway to savings.
Hi, I'm Abby Guy, Vice President at Riverbank and Trust. They say that most banks offer the same products, but Riverbank offers something most can't: personal connection. We love getting to know our customers by name and making them feel special with every interaction. It's a feeling of warm hospitality you won't find anywhere else. Experience it for yourself.
Ready for an unforgettable escape? Jump into adventure at Lake Martin, Alabama. From thrilling water sports to peaceful fishing spots, it's love at first bite every time you cast your line. Want more excitement? Catch an event with our vibrant festivals, concerts, and fishing tournaments all year long. And when the sun sets, dive downtown to discover local shops, delicious dining, and warm southern hospitality. Explore Lake Martin, where every moment is an adventure waiting to happen.
Fight back, and
He's not doing it.
He's just not even doing it.
All right, welcome back, everyone, to Sports Blitz Saturday Sports Countdown, presented by JR Sports Bar and Grill, Sunshine Heating and Air. Hour number 2 here. We're going to dive into some college, but we're going to finish up with our scores throughout the state of Alabama. Going down to one more score in 5A, Viger over LaFleur, 50-0. I mean, good luck down there too. I mean, this is like year in and year. We've been saying Viger's name for 30 years and even longer, all the way back into the 80s, way before you and I were doing this. Viger has just been a mainstay in this state as a good football program in high school. Okay, 4A, just kind of going through and looking at some of these scores. Mobile Christian over Satsuma, 42-6. We'll be down there covering Orange Beach and Satsuma in a couple weeks. Faith and I will continue to add mileage to whatever vehicle we're driving. For everybody to just, let me go ahead, let me pause and give everybody a little snapshot. Because Justin asked me this on the podcast yesterday. He's like, Brett, what's your schedule look like this weekend? I'm like, thanks for asking. All right, so we had, I had 41 shows yesterday, and then I did a ball game last night. And then I think I may have went to sleep for a second. And then I'm back looking at Randy this morning doing another show.
Not what he wants to be doing, by the way.
No, exactly. I mean, I'm not saying there's a want to. It's just I have to. And then I'll go snag a nap somewhere, and I'll head to Auburn And then I'll be on the sideline. We'll be in there, and then Faith and I'll do a program somewhere around midnight tonight. And then I'll wake up. I'll try to get to church in the morning, and then we'll look at getting up about 4:30 Monday morning to head to Huntsville. Anybody want to sign up? Sounds fun, doesn't it? So we'll be in Huntsville all day on Monday, and we're going to be filming 2 shows. We're going to double up. We're going to film 2 shows. So Faith's already ready to kill me right now. But, hey, look, when we're in an area, we're going to try to knock some stuff out. So, yeah, that's just a snapshot of the next 72 hours plus for me. So I had to get that out there. So it's a lot of fun, a lot of programming, a lot of things going on. 4A, who stands out to you, Randy? Handley with a win, 35-10. Anybody that you're thinking of in 4A that really stands out?
No, and that's a good thing. There's not just one single team that I point to and say if they don't win it, that it's going to be a nightmare for that program. You're getting into the thick of a lot of private schools that are successful when you get into that 4A and 3A classification. So
yep.
I would say some of them, and then some of those northern teams like Cherokee County and others that always seem to have a very good program.
Glenn, I need a self-driving vehicle. Yeah, it's if you see me coming, you might want to pull off on the side of the road. But thankfully, we're sponsored by Aldite, so we're always going to drive safe out there, everybody, no doubt, no matter how exhausted we are. Tallahassee back with another win, 53-21 over Munford. So a couple wins in a row now for Tallahassee. All right, let's get down to 3A. Dayville got on the winning side of things last night with a win over Beulah, 28-12. That's a better Beulah program. I mean, last year they made the playoffs, and they have expectations. They returned a lot of guys back off that team, but Dayville gets the win, 28-12.
Dayville's had a good start to the season. That's their first win, but they were very much in the game against Elmore County.
Lost by 1 point.
And so I talked to Chad yesterday, and he feels good about where the program is, and feels good about quite a few of his players and the way that they're moving forward and progressing. And so I feel like Dayville's going in a positive direction, and a couple of other scores of note here locally before we go into hour 2, Brett.
Yeah, I want to say 4A used to be the class that we used to say, man, there's a lot of parity. It's 3A now. Yeah. It's 3A. You look down, 5 over Collinsville, 58-22. Glenwood, they went undefeated last year and then got beat in the playoffs, and, talked to their coach, and he said, look, we kind of shot ourselves in the foot on that. They're going to be a tough out in 3A. Very good team, won 53-8 over BB Comer last night. Gordo's always got a good team. They won 72-8 over Huntsville. Lee Scott over Childersburg, 47-19. Montgomery Academy, 48-7 over Houston Academy. You got Mars Hill in this classification. They win over Colbert County, 62-24. You got Piedmont in this classification. They won 61-6 over Ohatchee. Trinity is in this class. They won 21-12 over Prattville Christian. You got T.R. Miller, who is a great program. They went over Monroe County, 35-8. I just keep going. I mean, this is a very loaded classification, maybe the toughest top to bottom, with as many teams as I can think of, maybe 9 to 10 legit teams with a chance to win a title in 3A.
Well, a lot of people I talk to over in the Auburn and Opelika area is about Lee Scott. And, that quality class they play in, and Lee Scott puts a quality product out there, not only in football, but all their girls' sports are really successful, Brett, and their boys' sports, they're competitive in all of those. So it's a fun, it's fun to play in that classification, I would think. And it's the reason you see so many teams that are rolling into the HSA for good reason, because it is enjoyable football, and you're putting yourself in a tough position week in and week out to get beat by some really good teams in 3A.
Yeah, absolutely. Let's move into 2A. Obviously, locally here, inter-county matchup, Reeltown over Horseshoe Bend, 54-14. Again, I don't know that there's a team in the state that started off with a harder schedule than Horseshoe Bend. They played a decent Sacs team. a team they got beat by in a very close game. They won that game last year. So I know they were disappointed there. But then they had to open up with the next week with Wadley, the defending 1A champs. And then they had to open up with the 2A defending champs this week. And so they played 2 defending state champs back to back, and just been a tough road to hoe for Horseshoe Bend the last couple of weeks.
Where they're sitting in the middle of 2 of the best small school programs in the state of Alabama year in and year out in Wadley and Reeltown. So a difficult job to take right there. Tip your hat to them last year making a playoff run. I think they won 6 football games last year.
They did. Yep.
That's putting a great team out there. And I expect Horseshoe Bend to be much better as this season moves on. They know how tough it is to a start to the season, but Reeltown, they're really the class of our area year in and year out.
Oh, yeah.
We've got other teams that can jump in there and be in the mix from time to time, like Ben Russell will be this year, but every year Reeltown's in it.
Yeah, it's kind of like Christmas. It rolls around on the 25th of December every year. Reeltown football rolls around every year too, and always a contender there. In 1A football, Brantley you don't see many 6-0 victories anymore. Brantley beats Pleasant Home 6-0. Leroy over McIntosh 42-26. Maplesville. Man, over Elwood Christian, 58-0. You better watch them. That's a very good football team that were runner-up last year, and they dusted Fife in the kickoff classic. McKenzie over Elba, 50-20. Milry knocks off Sweetwater, 25-12. Pisgah over Section, 52-6. Wadley, as we talked about earlier, 56-27. Over Fayetteville, and set a state record with 56 points in the second quarter, which is the most, in a long time. I don't know when those other 2 teams scored 55, but they broke that record with 56 last night. So that lines up our scores from around the state. We're going to take a break. When we come back, we'll be into college. Stay tuned. More to come here on the Saturday Sports Countdown right after this.
When you want quality, selection, price, superior financing, and a pain-free buying experience, look no further than Sons Automotive Group of Montgomery and Auburn. Sons of Montgomery offers the best selection of Kias, Chryslers, Dodges, Jeeps, and Ram trucks. Conveniently located on Eastern Boulevard, Sons Ford of Auburn is the region's Ford volume dealer. And when you shop at any Sons location, they will maximize all incentives and financing options for anyone's credit. Whether Kia, Chrysler, Dodge, Jeep, or Ram in Montgomery, or Ford in Auburn, Sons Automotive treats you like family because they are family driven.
If you're tired of the same old and you're hungry for something really good, then it's time to go to JR's Sports Bar and Grill. JR's has the best fingers and wings around, and their menu is loaded with appetizers, burgers, salads, and so much more. Follow JR's on their Facebook to keep up with their live music events and drink specials. And if after a long day you just want to stay in, remember JR's delivers. Call in your order at 256-329-2328. JR Sports Bar and Grill, 145 Alabama Street in Alexander City. Adams Motorsports of Montgomery knows it's the best time to ride. Right now, get the best deals on all of our Suzuki and Kawasaki street bikes, side-by-sides, four-wheelers, and dirt bikes. Adams Motorsports has it all, and our inventory is vast. Get out there, ride the streets and trails, and let Adams Motorsports make your pleasure our business. With family customer service and service after the sale. It's time to ride, so come see us on Eastern Boulevard, Montgomery, or online at adamsmotorsports.com.
Inspired by the bold bison, Southern Union students blaze new trails every single day. They press forward knowing their SU education will lead them to success. Affordable, accessible, and locally unparalleled. Whether you're transitioning to a university or launching straight into a lucrative career, a degree from SU SEC can help you blaze your path. 3 locations, dedicated faculty and staff, endless possibilities. It's all waiting for you at Southern Union. It's time to venture forward. Register today.
Lee Apparel is your go-to vendor for screen-printed and embroidered apparel and promotional products. We print and embroider free custom-made graphics or outsourced designs on everything from t-shirts, headwear, corporate wear, team sportswear, high-end safety apparel, and promotional products. At Lee Apparel, you can always expect quick turnaround time, competitive pricing, friendly customer service, and free in-hands delivery on all orders. Visit us at leeapparel.com to get started.
There's only one clear choice in the Lake Martin area for plumbing, heating, and air. That's All Clear Plumbing and Air. Our professionally trained technicians offer full service repair and installation on all major brands. From drips to water heaters, thermostats to entire air conditioning and heating systems, and everything in between. Our fast, reliable, and guaranteed top-notch customer service will keep you informed and up to speed through the entire process. Call us today or look for us on Facebook and Instagram at All Clear Plumbing and Air, 256-496-2056. License number 19172.
Usually this is a week of games only a mother could find some love for, because after the first week it drops off drastically. In week 2, everybody kind of takes there is an inter-conference battle between Ole Miss and Kentucky today, but I don't think that one's going to amount to squat either. So, all right, welcome back, everyone, to the Sports Blitz Saturday Sports Countdown presented by JR Sports Bar and Grill and Sunshine Heating and Air. Let's start with the Auburn Tigers. Last week, Auburn knocked off Baylor on the road. We had a great trip out there to Waco, Texas, and covering Auburn. Again, I think, so much hype and pressure on that game. Thought Auburn came out and performed, did what they needed to do offensively. They took what Baylor gave them, and that was a boatload of yards on the ground. They took advantage of that. The red zone efficiency, really, really good, able to cash in and score touchdowns and not have to settle for field goals. Held on to the football, didn't turn the ball over. So a lot of the things that Coach Free said they had to get a lot better at doing in the offseason, they accomplished that week 1.
Well, a great schedule lines up to a few of the things that we would like to see us, maybe get better in as the season moves on. And number 1's the passing game. Jackson Arnold able to rush for 137 yards in week 1 against Baylor, and Auburn able to put 2 other running backs closing in on 100 yards in that football game. So it was a good game on the ground, but we know that we're going to have to be explosive in the passing game to win some of these games we got coming up. So today's a great opportunity for that. With Damari out, I think that also probably gives you even more of a reason to get these receivers into a flow. So that's one thing we'll be watching. I thought the offensive line played extremely well defensively in the secondary last week. I'm interested to see who gets a majority of the snaps back in the secondary. I think we had 28 players play in that opening game against Baylor, and we may see that today if we get out. But really, in the first half, who's taking the snaps? Is it as many as we saw last week? And we've got to get better in the secondary. It wasn't pretty. There's no other way to spin that. But Coach Durkin did a great job last year of getting us better after a tough start to the season back in the secondary last year. And then so many new faces at linebacker. Can we get productive play there? So getting another game under our belt in this system is going to be key on both sides of the ball.
Yeah, I won't be able to tell. You could screw up today and it not show up. 43.5-point favorites over Ball State. I mean, you taking Auburn in 43.5?
Probably. Yeah.
I mean, when Purdue scores 31, it's kind of hard to look down and go, but I tell you, man, these lines, they set them. You'll be looking at the scoreboard with about 3 minutes to go and you're going, Auburn's winning by 42. Okay. Yeah. What do y'all know in Vegas that we don't? All right. Alabama, not so good last week, taking on Florida State. And I think, again, going back and looking at this thing, it's not just that Alabama lost the game. And it had a lot to do with Florida State being a completely different team than they were last year. And the transfer portal allows you to do that. And you're also able to go out and get some new coaches in Gus Malzahn. He's got a quarterback that fits his system perfectly, like we've talked about. But Florida State, they won that game because they obviously had more passion in the game, but the lack of effort from Alabama. I mean, it's your first game of the season. Everybody should be jacked up and ready to go. There's definitely something missing there in that program right now. I don't know what it is. I think that's why Alabama fans are trying to process that and figure that out. But, definitely we said it going into the season that DeBoer, even though 9-3 and no coach had ever won 9 games their first year at Alabama, it's a different day. It's a different deal. I mean, he's coming in off the heels of the best to ever do it, and 9-3 and not making the playoffs is not acceptable at Alabama because of their recent run, and he's got even more pressure on him now to perform.
I can tell you the problem, and I might be wrong in the long haul by saying this, but I sensed it that first year with Brian Harsin, and I sense it right now with Kalen DeBoer.
The D word, discipline.
It's leadership, man. It's leadership from the top. I don't see a competitive spirit in Alabama right now. Can they get it back? Yeah, they probably can against a lesser than team, but I don't think you cover that up in a couple of weeks. This team just doesn't look like they're anywhere near to the physicality they've been in the past. And it's not because they're not talented. This is, if you look at star ratings and you look at the rankings coming in with the current roster, not necessarily only the recruiting rankings, because you got to put in all of the transfers that you've got in, but this is the second best roster in the country, right behind Georgia. At Alabama, they got 15 5-stars on this team. And you can say, well, some of those don't pan out and some do, but look, it's not like we're watching a team go directly backwards from a talent standpoint compared to what Nick Saban had. No, he's got a very talented football team right now, and they just don't seem motivated to play the game the right way. And maybe you can fix that in a few weeks. I doubt it, though.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, you either have respect for somebody or not, and then
respect for yourself for the way that you perform. Look, there's certain points where I watched safety for Alabama last week and the effort that he gave. Man, if you are willing to allow that to show up on a film, because I don't care if you're 14 years old or 21 years old, right. Every coach you've ever had is making you go back and watch the way that you're performing on every play. And whoever you are knows that there is a point in time this next week where I've got to go watch the way I took that block on, or I've got to go watch the way that I made this tackle in the open field and whether my effort was good. And they had way too many posts that were made after that game, like, watch this guy, circling, watch him, and he is just tracking the field. It's so bad that you want to go and show it as an example to your child that's just getting into football. Like, this is how you don't play. If you play like this, it's not going to end up pretty. And that you can say it's respect, but it's also respect for yourself, Brett. If you
there's no doubt. I mean, but I think you're right with the leadership situation. When you got a poor leadership situation, that it allows people to relax and maybe not hold themselves up to the standard that they would normally hold themselves to. But you shouldn't have to wake up and have somebody else make you want to do the right thing. It should be ingrained in you regardless. So, but bottom line is that when you look at it from a standpoint, they got some things to fix. I don't know, like you said, how fast or if some of that can even be fixed now, because you're going into the season, that's what you were supposed to be dialing up. You're supposed to be getting all that tuned in, and they don't have that right now. So now you're going to have to fix things on the fly as you're preparing for teams each week. And so we'll see. They've got a warm-up game today. They're 34.5-point favorites over La Monroe. And then they've got Wisconsin next week at 11 o'clock. And then they have Georgia coming up right after that. So it's going to be interesting. All right, we're going to take another break here on the show. Stay tuned. More to come.
This spring and summer, make your land, farming, lawn, and landscaping needs have zero risk and 100% success. with Lake Martin Tractor and Outdoor. With 0% financing on all our Mahindra tractors, many with up to 84-month terms. Our inventory of Mahindra tractors and farm implements is beefed up, and more are coming in daily. We also have extended 0% terms on Spartan mowers to handle your mowing needs with the best and zero-turn mowers priced to move. At Lake Martin Tractor and Outdoor, your authorized Mahindra and Spartan dealer.
At Dixie Overhead Door, we specialize in top-quality garage door solutions for homes across Alabama and Georgia. In need of a garage door repair or a brand new garage door installation, our expert team delivers fast, reliable service with local expertise that you can trust, providing customized solutions and exceptional care every step of the way. Visit us today at DixieOverheadDoor.com and experience the Dixie difference.
Call Dixie and it's done.
Alex City and west side of the lake. It's time to celebrate because the all-new Lake Martin Pizza is open with the area's best pizza, and it's just down Highway 63 South in our town. Lake Martin Pizza of Highway 63 has a huge outdoor seating area with enclosed heated comfort, a full bar with cold beer, wine, and full spirit selection with family ownership and fun for the whole family. Dine in or pick up. It's just a short drive to our town and is hands down the area's best pizza. Like us on Facebook to see upcoming live entertainment and watch sports on our 360 wraparound TVs. Rejoice! Lake Martin Pizza on Highway 63 is ready for you.
I'm Joseph Dean with Lake Martin Funeral Home and Cremation in Dadeville. We're located at 16797 Highway 280, which is on the corner of 280 and 49 North. With an on-site crematory in Opelika and a cemetery in Tallapoosa County, we are a full-service funeral home. To get in touch with us, feel free to come by or call us, 256-750-0381. For any other questions, you can visit the website at lakemartinfuneralhome.com.
Heritage South Credit Union in Alexander City is your community credit union, and they have been for over 80 years. Heritage South Credit Union proudly serves Tallapoosa, Coosa, Lee, Chambers, Randolph, and Chilton counties. From checking to business accounts, to share savings to club accounts, to their kids club and investments. Visit them online at myhscu.com. Heritage South Credit Union, your community credit union for 80 years. Federally insured by NCUA.
Visit our new locations in Gadsden and Oxford today.
Bring him into the locker room and show him around, and he explained to Coach Dye that he couldn't hang around. He had to get back, and his dad told him he had to be at his job at McDonald's, and he said that was probably the thing that that knocked it over the line for him to get the scholarship offer to Auburn for Coach Dye, was that he was willing to leave his recruiting trip to go back to a job that night on a Saturday night in Montgomery. And so great story right there. And Lord, aren't we glad that he ended up getting him back?
Yeah, no question about that. No doubt. All right, we're back here on the Saturday Sports Countdown presented by JR Sports Bar and Grill and Sunshine Heating and Air. 30 minutes left in the show today. Again, you continue to comment away over here. We appreciate all of that. It's a great story, by the way, that you told there for Quentin Riggins. I've known Quentin a long time. I don't get a chance to talk to him as much as I have in the past, but just a great friend, and an all-time great. Always be one of my favorites. I'm a little biased, but always will be one of my favorites there that play for Auburn. But Auburn honoring Coach Dye's 20th anniversary, being inducted into the Hall of Fame, and then it's kind of a reunion weekend this weekend. They had events last night, and then of course today at his place at Crooked Oaks, and some other things going on campus throughout the day. And then, of course, tonight, 6:30 kickoff with a team that Auburn should be able to go out and take care of business. And then Same for Alabama. 43.5 point favorite for Auburn, 34.5 point favorite for Alabama. Now you shift focus to some of the games of note here in the country that you'll look at. And really there's only one that stands out, and that's Oklahoma and Michigan for me. That's at 6:30. Unfortunately, it'll be the same time that we're playing, but that game will be on ABC tonight. You're going to see two really high-profile quarterbacks, and Underwood and Mateer take on one another. Oklahoma's, again, FPI predictor, 53.5% chance to win this game at home. They are a 5.5 point favorite, but this is Oklahoma program that also has a coach on an extremely hot seat. And if they were to lose this game tonight, if the heat's going to ramp up even more, then they have to shift their focus. If you look at Oklahoma's schedule, if they were to lose this game tonight, they have Temple on the road for some reason. They're traveling to Temple next week. And then they'll be back home against Auburn. And if they were to lose that game against Michigan, the amount of pressure on Oklahoma to win that game is going to be immense. I'll just tell you that.
Well, Brent Venables comes over, defensive-minded guy, and this is not a defensive-minded program and hasn't been for a long time. Even when Oklahoma under Stoops and some others, they put together a few really good teams defensively, but for the most part, their bread's been buttered on the offensive side of the ball, Brett, and especially during that Lincoln Riley era, because during that era, they scored points at will, but they couldn't stop anybody when it got into a big game. And I say all of that meaning when you're going to rotate into an SEC schedule, you've got to be built for physicality. I.e. Texas A&M, it took them 6 or 8 years to get the Bows and the Joes on the lines of scrimmage to compete consistently here in the SEC. And so that's a big question mark for Oklahoma is the defensive side of the ball. Can they be competitive on that side of the ball? And unfortunately, they weren't last year. And can they be this year? This is a Michigan program that's built for physicality. Coach Harbaugh and then whoever's left after him has built this program around a pro-style offense and big old offensive linemen and physical play that the Wolverines have been known for since you and I were kids and way before then. So this is an intriguing game, especially for Auburn fans, because we know that one's on the horizon. We win these next couple of games and go into a game on the road, hopefully 3-0, playing against a team that's reeling if they don't play well.
If we aren't 3-0.
And not, well, I know it, and aren't physical. If Oklahoma doesn't prove that they're physical, right.
Well,
I go into that game with Auburn going, man, that if we don't win this game on the road, we may never beat Oklahoma on the road. This year is the way that I'm hoping I go into it. But then again, Oklahoma goes in the portal and they get Mateer, and he was the number one quarterback in the portal. So he's got to prove that he was the number one get in the portal.
They're going to get after him today. Look, I've been high on him since he got in the portal, and I thought, that was a guy I was hoping we'd go grab. But, when you play up at Washington State and you look at the competition that you play now versus what you're about to, this Michigan program is, like you said, they're punching in the mouth, and they ain't taking a back seat to anybody. They're going in to win this football game. They expect to go in to win the football game today. We'll see how Oklahoma is able to handle that. And but they've kind of hung their hat on playing defensive football at Michigan. We saw what they did last year going into Ohio State and really just completely shutting them down. Ohio State comes back and wins the national championship. But this is a really good Michigan program that it's kind of a benchmark test for Oklahoma to kind of see where their program is. And I'm like you. Jackson Arnold, I think, is chomping at the bit to return. Not because there's bad blood between him and Oklahoma. They liked him there. He liked Oklahoma. They wanted him to stay, but he just felt like it was best suited for him to go try somewhere else. And after week one, I'm glad, hopefully that's going to continue to build for him. But I think he's looking for a great opportunity in a couple of weeks to go back over and go, okay, I'm back, and we're going. This Auburn football team's got a lot to prove. So, yep, going to be watching the physicality of that game more than anything. But it really is, when you go scroll down through here and you look for games of note, there's just not much. I mean, one that we'll talk about when we come back from the break here in just a minute. Another one is that Arizona State, Mississippi State game, and Arizona State traveling to Mississippi State. That game also at 6:30 tonight. Arizona State's only a 6.5-point favorite, and a lot of people have them on upset alert here against this Mississippi State team, just because it's a weird environment with the Cowbells and trying to get used to some things. I know Arizona State practiced with Cowbells all week at practice, so just trying to get acclimated. And Arizona State, though, very good football team, good quarterback, coached well by Kenny Dillingham. So we'll see kind of how that game plays. That's only really the other of note we can come back and talk about here in just a second. But all right, we're going to go ahead and take a break here on the show. Stay tuned. A couple more segments here on the Saturday Sports Countdown.
This spring and summer, make your land, farming, lawn, and landscaping needs have zero risk and 100% success with Lake Martin Tractor and Outdoor, with 0% financing on all our Mahindra tractors, many with up to 84-month terms. Our inventory of Mahindra tractors and farm implements is beefed up, and more are coming in daily. We also have extended 0% terms on Spartan mowers to handle your mowing needs, with the best and zero-turn mowers priced to move. At Lake Martin Tractor and Outdoor, your authorized Mahindra and Spartan dealer.
At Dixie Overhead Door, we specialize in top-quality garage door solutions for homes across Alabama and Georgia. In need of a garage door repair or a brand new garage door installation, our expert team delivers fast, reliable service with local expertise that you can trust, providing customized solutions and exceptional care every step of the way. Visit us today at DixieOverheadDoor.com and experience the Dixie difference.
Call Dixie and it's done.
Alex City and west side of the lake. It's time to celebrate because the all-new Lake Martin Pizza is open with the area's best pizza, and it's just down Highway 63 South in our town. Lake Martin Pizza of Highway 63 has a huge outdoor seating area with enclosed heated comfort, a full bar with cold beer, wine, and full spirit selection with family ownership and fun for the whole family. Dine in or pick up. It's just a short drive to our town and is hands down the area's best pizza. Like us on Facebook to see upcoming live entertainment and watch sports on our 360 wraparound TVs. Rejoice! Lake Martin Pizza on Highway 63 is ready for you.
I'm Joseph Dean with Lake Martin Funeral Home and Cremation in Dadeville. We're located at 16797 Highway 280, which is on the corner of 280 and 49 North. With an on-site crematory in Opelika and a cemetery in Tallapoosa County, we are a full-service funeral home. To get in touch with us, feel free to come by or call us, 256-750-0381. And for any other questions, you can visit the website at lakemartinfuneralhome.com.
Heritage South Credit Union in Alexander City is your community credit union, and they have been for over 80 years. Heritage South Credit Union proudly serves Tallapoosa, Coosa, Lee, Chambers, Randolph, and Chilton counties. From checking to business accounts, to share savings to club accounts, to their kids club and investments. Visit them online at myhscu.com. Heritage South Credit Union, your community credit union for 80 years. Federally insured by NCUA.
Visit our new locations in Gadsden and Oxford today.
Cookie cutter. There are different situations for things, but you'll know at the end of the football season if you want to leave. Don't wait till let me go through another spring, and if I don't get what I want, let me get in the portal. You know what I mean? So, and also will cut out a lot of that recruiting too on the back end. Because now, I mean, you get one opportunity and you got 10 days. And so it'll help 100%. All right, welcome back, everyone, to the Sports Blitz Saturday Sports Countdown presented by JR's Sports Bar and Grill and Sunshine Heating and Air. We don't say enough about JR's. JR's been with us really since day one. And just such good people, and the food's unbelievable. The atmosphere is unbelievable. Been a staple here in Alex City for 27-plus years now. I mean, when it felt like yesterday they just did the 25th, and we were talking about all that stuff. Now they've been here 27. And I feel like I've aged 27 in 2 years. And then you've got Sunshine Heating and Air, which is Kevin Kill and Cliff and those guys. Man, they do a tremendous job here in the Lake Martin area. So if you need heating and air work, Sunshine Heating and Air have been a staple of this area for a long time.
Let me throw a quick note out there. You know, Brett and I have been doing these Saturday shows for right at 20 years. And so for those of you that know how this works, but if you don't, the first hour of the show is high school sports talk, run down scores from the night before. But more importantly for our community, the first 25, 30 minutes of the show this morning, we discussed our game last night and Ben Russell's path forward with the schedule coming up. So if you want to listen into what we do, kind of scroll back and check out that first part of the show, because we're into the college segment of the show now.
Well, let's shift over some of these visitors coming in this weekend for Auburn, or actually today. And I'm going to start with two guys that you and I know both very well. B.J. Bedgood, who I think if he's a 3-star, then he's the best 3-star in the country. This kid deserves another star. He's a definite 4-star receiver. Didn't play last night, nursing a little bit of an ankle injury, but it was precautionary more than anything. He'll be back. I'm just saying, Auburn, don't wait. Offer B.J. Bedgood. He will be a great addition to the class. I will take 25 B.J. Bedgoods. I'm just giving you a personal experience testimony here, being around that kid and what a great demeanor he is, and talking about kids that smile all the time and kids that lift everybody up. You know, I saw him put his arm around a scout team player the other day at practice when kid was having a little bit of a tough day, and you know, he's an underclassman, and you have a guy that's like looked up to on your team come over and take some time to put his arm around you and kind of talk you up. Man, that was a class move. And you know, it's what you do when others aren't watching, or when you think others aren't watching, that defines your character and your integrity. And that's what he is for me. And so he'll be in there. And then of course the number one player in the 28 class, a guy that you and I have talked about, and is a phenomenal kid as well. It's hard to say this kid is a kid when you look at him, but Kingston Preyear will be at Auburn. He's already received an Auburn offer, so it'll be good to have both of those guys in Auburn today for this game. But I'll just start there. Two really tremendous people first, but then outstanding players.
They've been led so well. I mean, I can go for 10 minutes if you want me to, but I'll go for 1 minute here. And yeah, they got great parents and they've got great support system, and we've been able to meet and be around some of those people, and you understand why. But the coaches they've been around, that's the ones I'm talking about. They are led so well, and
they are
through a program that has high expectations, and you carry yourself the right way. And those are ones you got to get, you know, and luckily for us, they're in our backyard. But boy, I'm here for it. I love that we've got a lot of our kids constantly being checked out and being talked about. And I think there's a lot more to come. I really believe that. I saw a mention right there, Charzell, and Charzell Davis is
he's a phenomenal
already, you know, Charzell's playing defensive end for us as a sophomore, but I think he's gained 70 pounds over the last year, and he's special. He is another smiler. His younger brother's on my team right now. He and Normal. Let me go ahead and throw that out. He was telling me this week, he said, Coach Randy, my brother's got Kirby Smart's phone number. I said, Legarian, Whatever your brother's got, you give yourself about 3 years, you're going to have every number in this country. You've heard it from me first. So when all these coaches start calling you, you can go back and say, Coach Randy told me I'd have every number in this country, and he will. There's more talented kids to come.
Oh, they are. And, like Shaker Jack said, that Georgia may offer pretty soon with Charles out. Like, I think the demeanor, trying to go back a little bit and talk about the Ben Russell team for a second, that the demeanor of this team, I walk out there at practice and the kids are having fun and they want to be around each other. Look, I'm not going to call names, but I've been doing this a long time. And Benjamin Russell been going to a lot of practices. And, there's years you got a few that have an attitude. I mean, and it's just it kind of is the elephant in the room. It's like meltdown, just not on the same page. You don't see that at all with this group up here. Just a very, very good demeanor all the way around with the kids and the want to be together. And look, I'll be honest with you. Yeah, it sucks to lose Caleb Spivey the way we did. That was a rug pulled out from under us pretty right out of the blue. I mean, nobody, and I can say that on here with confidence, nobody knew that was coming. So I don't know how all that ends up playing out in the future and all that kind of stuff. But to see these kids, you mentioned it last night on the broadcast, that hey, they've just continued to grind and become a really, really talented defensive line. And it's going to be a tough group to go against week in and week out for the opponents. But yeah, there's a couple of guys. Let's get over it. Shadarius Tootle will be back in Auburn. I know he'd been a long-time commitment to Auburn from Cottage Hill and Mobile. He's committed to Georgia now. So let's see what happens. Still got a lot of love for Auburn. He doesn't even try to hide that. He likes the program. We all said that, Auburn could handle a lot of this stuff by winning this year and by taking care of business, because they've been recruiting fine. And when they've been having losing seasons, if they could get on the winning side of things, it could really change some things back for some of these guys. And he's one I feel like it could.
Brett, which quarterbacks do we have in for next year's class? I know that this is a very, very talented in-state crop of quarterbacks in the 27 class, and I bet we've got 3 or 4 of them in.
Yeah, I'll pull up the list here. We're actually about to go to break, and I'll come back and I'll talk about that group here in just a second. Peyton Falzon will make his first trip to Auburn.
Okay.
The quarterback in this class, he's a 4-star. You look at his numbers, he's pretty doggone good. And it was kind of odd that he'd never made a trip to Auburn. He was a Penn State commit from Pennsylvania. He flips his commitment to Auburn, and then he'll make his first trip to Auburn this weekend. So I'm looking forward to hearing what his reaction is and kind of how that all plays out. But, yeah, I mean, Auburn's got several guys that are committed in this class that will be in attendance today. And obviously a lot of guys that they're looking to either flip or get straight up to add to this class as we head down the stretch. But, again, just got to win football games. Tonight's environment is going to be phenomenal with the laser show and the new Jumbotron and all the amenities. And, look, the environment inside Jordan-Hare at night is second to none anyway. But you're going to have a chance to impress and make another good showing in front of these recruits. And, again, we need to get as many of them as we possibly can to add to this class and keep this class moving in the right direction, because we just lost another kid this past week in Hezekiah Harris. So hopefully maybe that ship hadn't sailed all the way either. Maybe we can get him back at the end of the day. All right, we're going to take a break here. One final segment coming up here on the Saturday Sports Countdown right after this.
If you're tired of the same old and you're hungry for something really good, then it's time to go to JR's Sports Bar and Grill. JR's has the best fingers and wings around, and their menu is loaded with appetizers, burgers, salads, and so much more. Follow JR's on their Facebook to keep up with their live music events and drink specials. And if after a long day you just want to stay in, remember JR's delivers. Call in your order at 256-329-2328. JR Sports Bar and Grill, 145 Alabama Street in Alexander City.
Russell Medical Total Fitness is ready. Are you? Do you have arthritis? They can help. Pilates are for everyone. Ask them about the Silver Sneakers program. Get moving in a class now, or if you prefer, personal training on land and water are available. They have invested in new equipment for you. Invest in yourself with a dedicated and knowledgeable staff. Call today, 256-329-7623.
Satterfield Outdoor Living is Lake Martin's trusted friend for your outdoor land and leisure needs. We're the region's authorized Skag mower dealer for residential and commercial lawns and offer all the small engine accessories you need with top lines of Steel, Echo, Shindaiwa, Husqvarna, and Metabo products that can tame any landscape. Satterfield is also your grill headquarters with Big Green Egg Grill, and our pros service everything in-house and back up all sales. Get the Satterfield Outdoor difference on Highway 280 right across from Tallapoosa Ford.
Main Street Family Urgent Care.
Main Street Family Care offers a wide array of services that allows them to treat many conditions, and they also offer primary care. In addition to these services, they also offer DOT physical exams, lab testing, sports physicals, and vaccines. They accept most major insurance plans, including Medicaid. Main Street Family Care open 7 days a week.
Main Street Family Urgent Care. Heal better, feel better fast.
Zaxby's birthday cake milkshakes are back. Just in time for Zaxby's 35th birthday, so they're gifting you half-off handcrafted milkshakes. Happy birthday to us all. Zaxby's handcrafted milkshakes. Who's got the sauce?
Zaxby's. Sign Source is your local vendor for commercial and residential sign manufacturing and installation. We offer all kinds of lighted and non-lighted signage, from retail signs, LED message centers, event banners, vehicle wraps, the whole spectrum. We also offer service and repair on existing signs, as well as retrofitting to LED or installation of outsourced signage. We have the knowledge necessary to fulfill all of your signage needs in the short or long term. Visit signsourcenow.com to get started.
All right, a little bit of a shorter segment, and we'll be out. So, all right, welcome back, everyone, to the Sports Blitz Saturday Sports Countdown. Final segment here on the program. We appreciate all of you out there that tune us in and have commented throughout the show this morning. Been on since 7 o'clock, and again, we appreciate it. Went through in the first hour and kind of highlighted everything that went on around the state. In high school football, kind of gave you our opinion on the way things kind of played out for Benjamin Russell last night. So leading into this, again, you can go to our Auburn Blitz page and enter your predictions. Tiebreaker is Jeremiah Cobb, rushing yards. So we'll report that next week. We'll give away another Pepper Tree Steaks and Wine gift card. Had WK Sweat win that gift card prize package with some Auburn Blitz swag this past week with his prediction of Auburn beating Baylor. It was close. I think he had 34-27 is his prediction. So he won it outright, and so we'll be sending that to him. So make sure you get your prediction in for Ball State up until kickoff, and then we'll look at that. Reminder, after the game tonight, we will be on the air for the Pepper Tree Steaks and Wine postgame show. So everybody give us a little bit of time. Faith and I go into the press conference. We got player interviews. We're going to be putting those reels out for everybody to see, and then we've got a track somewhere to go do the show. So we know a lot of you get on and pop on right after for reaction, and that's great and all, but hang with us. And again, this is another late game. So again, just hang in there with us, but we will be on. You ain't got nothing to do on Sunday. Just stay up. I mean, we want to hear from you. Had a great turnout at 1 a.m. after the Baylor game. So, yeah, appreciate Pepper Steaks and Wine for their support and all they do for our program.
Justin has a question down there. Rank those 27 quarterbacks in state. We were talking about that. Brett and I have been talking about this a couple of years because a majority of these players have been starting a couple of years. So that's where I'll begin. Yep. One, Bobby Coleman's ceiling may be higher than the rest. I don't know that, though, because I haven't seen him enough. Brett and I have been calling Trent Seaborn games since he was in 8th grade.
Since he was in 8th grade.
So if I've got to go off of what I've seen from the high school side that I think can parlay into great success on the college side, I like the competitive spirit of Trent Seaborn. I think he's the best high school quarterback right now in the state. He's been coached up exceptionally well. So I would start with him. I'm not knocking any of the rest, Brett, but until they prove that they can put a winning product out there, and Seaborn, the way he closed out last season was so impressive. Because Thompson was questionable whether they'd be able to win another state title the way they were playing midway through the season last year, and then they just they owned the playoffs, and he did a lot of that with his legs too. I love Gunnar Rivers. If Auburn were to be lucky enough to get Phillip Rivers' son, Gunnar, to come to Auburn, I'd be thrilled with it. He's that big physical quarterback like his dad was, coached again exceptionally well, and Casey Myers were the people that I talked to that I respect.
45 seconds, Randy.
Casey Myers is, from a 7-on-7 standpoint, just delivering the football, as talented as any of them that's at Auburn High School right now, Brett. So I would start with that, with the outlier being Bobby Coleman, just because I haven't seen him as much as the others. Yeah,
we'll continue to cover them. I'll see Gunnar Rivers a little bit later on in the season when we go down to do it on the road show down there. So we'll catch up with that. I do think Kingston has as high or higher ceiling than every one of those that Randy just went through.
I think he's equal to every one of them. He's going to be a higher recruit than any of those. But I think the problem with those, Brett, there's so many of them. Which one do you pick?
No doubt. All right, let's get out for TV. We'll hang on just a second, but that's going to wrap us up for TV. We appreciate everybody. We'll catch you next week.
Bugs Island is your boating headquarters. Are you ready to hit the water and go boating this summer? Bugs Island has all kinds of boats, with one sure to fit exactly what you want. Fishing boats, sport boats, pontoon boats, and all with low monthly payments. Call 1-800-I'm-READY. Bugs Island Service Department experts are also here for you to keep your boat in top running condition. Call 1-800-I'm-READY. Don't be left standing on the bank this summer. Visit online at bugsisland.com and don't buy a boat till you get a Bucks quote.
If you listen carefully, you'll hear the roads of Alabama calling. And Sarah Honda has your answer. Serving you for over 40 years with one of the largest Honda and pre-owned inventories in the state, and the Sarah Promise. Our best deal when you buy or trade, a 72-hour exchange policy, a no-hassle trade-in promise. Written offers are good for 7 days. And our best service promise. Our factory-certified technicians help keep your vehicle running smoothly. That's why Alabama can be yours to discover in a new vehicle from Sarah Honda in Sylacauga.
Farmers and Merchants Bank of Dadeville is building a foundation of strength and trust in the entire Lake Martin community. With our modern branch in Dadeville and caring, attentive staff, we've established Farmers and Merchants Bank as a reliable friend to your banking needs. Whether it's just a savings or checking account or any commercial, auto, or real estate loan, Farmers has local decision making to build a relationship with you and your needs. Farmers and Merchants Community Bank. Strength, service, community.
Lee Apparel is your go-to vendor for screen printed and embroidered apparel and promotional products. We print and embroider free custom-made graphics or outsourced designs on everything from t-shirts, headwear, corporate wear, team sportswear, high-end safety apparel, and promotional products. At Lee Apparel, you can always expect quick turnaround time, competitive pricing, friendly customer service, and free in-hands delivery on all orders. Visit us at leeapparel.com to get started.
Summertime is a special time. Time on the water, time away from work, and more time with family and friends. Make sure your heart is ready for the season with an appointment at the UAB Heart and Vascular Clinic at Russell Medical. I'm Dr. Kevin Sublett, and our entire clinic is dedicated to keeping your heart healthy. We're right here in your own community and backed by the knowledge and expertise of UAB Medicine. Make an appointment today by calling 256-234-2644 or visit uabmedicine.org/HeartRussell.
Ivy Creek Healthcare is excited to showcase their newest clinic, Ivy Creek Family Care of Lake Martin, located conveniently near the main entrance to Stillwater's on Highway 49 South in Dadeville. Ivy Creek Family Care of Lake Martin is an urgent care with walk-ins welcome. Whether you need lab work, x-rays, or immediate care, find comfort here at Ivy Creek Family Care of Lake Martin. Ivy Creek, here when you need us most. 256-827-5379.